Hello, 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 and welcome to 5 Year Club video number 132. What? Yeah. So, video number 132 is a Vietnamese sandwich, but maybe not quite the one you expect. And nice little picture there. All right, what do I want to say today? It is a time of transition right now. Like, 5 different people have talked to me about big, scary new thing changes that are going on in their life. And it's like when one of them happens, you're like, okay, that's normal. 2 happens, you're like, okay, that's normal. When so many happen within a short period of time, you're like, I'm suspicious of something cosmic is going on here. I thought the other day about doing a video on unemployment because the unemployment numbers are really low right now, and I wanted to just show kind of how unemployment tends to move over time, because it really is kind of an interesting unemployment chart. It's an interesting chart, I think. And there we go. That's a good one. Ooh, it's an even better one. Okay, come on. Show me. Give me the good unemployment chart. Yeah, so as you can see, unemployment has this interesting pattern where it kind of goes down gradually, but it doesn't go up gradually. It spikes. And then it goes down gradually, and it spikes. And it goes down gradually. So unemployment increases very rapidly. So you go from 5% unemployment to 9% unemployment very rapidly. And then over a much slower period of time, the jobs come back. And we are right now at like 3.9. So we're down here. And we can see historically that we're not usually down there. We don't stay down there. The last time that we were down here was, back right before 2000, and that didn't stick around for long. And then before that, it's like in the late 60s, and that didn't stick around for too long either. Anyhow, but we don't, like, I guess we can say historically, yeah, we don't usually get below 4% unemployment. But we also kind of, like, once we hit we don't tend to stick around this bottom area for very long either. So it kind of makes me, I'm like, I'm nervous. But anyway, I decided not to cover this because I actually need to do a lot more studying on unemployment. I'm not an economist, and I don't know enough about it. Yeah, that was another video idea. So yeah, just a lot of changes for people right now. And I think that I a lot of times don't emotionally react to a lot of things in the same way. And part of it is because of how I frame things. And I think I often frame things in a much more extreme or different way than other people. And I was reminded of this when I saw a news article that really disturbed me. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the news article that disturbed me. The article is this one. Japanese diplomats appalled by offensive dessert at Abe Netanyahu dinner. Celebrity chef Moshe Segev's culinary blooper ended the meal on the wrong foot. When Japanese leader Shinzo Abe, I guess it's Abe, and his wife dined with Benjamin and Sarah Netanyahu at the Prime Minister's residence on May 2nd during Abe's second official visit to Israel, they finished their gourmet meal with a kicker of dessert. Israeli chef Moshe Segev, and I'm sorry if I butcher these names, better known as Segev Moshe, okay. The Prime Minister's private chef capped the elaborate dinner with a selection of chocolates served in a metal shoe, which is considered highly offensive in Japanese culture. How specific of a culture do you have to be offended specifically by a selection of chocolates served in a metal shoe. That's a very picky culture. While Abe took the unusual presentation in stride, Japanese and Israeli diplomats and Japan watchers were shocked that the Japanese prime minister would be served from a shoe. This was a stupid and insensitive decision, a senior Israeli diplomat who had previously served in Japan told some crazy word. Is that Yiddish or Hebrew? I don't even know. Is that the same thing, or is it a mix? I don't know enough about language. Anyway, there is nothing more despised in Japanese culture than shoes. Not only do they not enter their house while wearing shoes, you will not find shoes in their offices either. Even the prime minister, ministers, and members of parliament do not wear shoes to work. It is equivalent to serving a Jewish guest chocolates in a dish shaped like a pig. No culture puts shoes on the table, a Japanese diplomat told Yediot. What precisely was this illustrious chef Segev thinking? If this is meant to be humor, we do not find it funny. I can tell you that we are offended for our prime minister, the diplomat said. Segev posted photos of the dinner, including a close-up of the infamous dessert, on his Instagram account. "You've made your greatest fiasco ever," commented one Instagram user. "The nation will never forget this, Segev. I truly loved you. You should be ashamed." The award-winning chef is a prominent restaurateur, author, and television personality. He is also head chef for El Al Airlines. All right. Well, okay. So we have luxury shop chocolates in a shoe. And I now want to play a clip from a YouTube video that I found today. And I think the clip speaks for itself. So let's watch that. And maybe I can make myself tiny. All right. And then can I make this bigger? Good. All right.
I'll see what the deal is with this kid. Bán gì à? Nhiêu cái? 3.000 không bớt à? Cho một cái đi. Em bao nhiêu tuổi? 13 à? 13 sao thấy nhỏ mà. Khát nước không? Khát không? Mua nước đi. Chú mua. Bán vài cái đi, 10 cái đi. Ủa đưa tiền em mua nước được không? Yeah, this kid is 13 years old and working in the heat. 30. Làm gì khó vậy? Cho tiền mua nước đi. The kids working out in the heat, mate. But these kids don't see anything weird about it. In the West, we have this notion that childhood should be a time to relax, have fun and all that. But out in the developing world, mate, they don't really have that luxury. If you're able-bodied and you're poor, you pretty much just have to work. So even in the midst of a luxury resort town like this, little kids like that have to pay the bills. This mirror is really annoying. I'll get rid of it. Hopefully the...
All right, so for the benefit of Western audiences, and I had to look this up myself, the heat there, 41 Celsius, is 106 Fahrenheit. So here's a girl, 13, and instead of, being in school and learning something during the years where her brain is forming, so that she would be able to contribute to solving some of the serious problems of the world, she instead has to sit on the concrete in 106-degree heat, selling donuts to whoever might pass by. And this was everywhere in Vietnam. It was easy to find people sitting on the concrete on the street, and you would see the same people for like 12 hours a day selling stuff. And a lot of times, the street would be, 100 times more packed with motorbikes than this one, because it would be in a more urban, more dense environment. And in that situation, this girl would be just covered in soot from the cars, and that's what was normal. And of course, I'm sure the inside of her lungs is also just covered in that crap, or would be. And I think that for me, a lot of times when I think about, let's go make myself bigger. When I think about work or how things are going in my life, or what direction, what's important in the world, what are the problems that need to be worked on, I think about this girl's situation. I think about the human capital situation where, she could have been the next Nobel laureate in literature. But instead of reading, she's stuck in, 106-degree heat. I can't think in 106-degree heat. No way. I was in, Calistoga. And I was running through 106, 108. I was running through that heat to get back to a building or back to a car, because it literally feels like you're in a toaster oven just baking. And that's through no, fault of her own. That's the lot that she has. And here I am, lucky in America, recording this crazy video. But, when you think about what are the real problems of the world, this is a real problem. This is a real problem.
Bán gì à?
When we look back at that, the leader of Japan was served gourmet chocolates inside of a metal shoe sculpture. What the hell is there for anyone to complain about? It's gourmet chocolates inside of a metal shoe sculpture. The sculpture could be shaped like a butthole for all I care. What meaning does this have? This doesn't affect anything. It's some delicious chocolates inside of a piece of art. It's not worth people's breath to talk about it. But they talk about it. And, the explanation I have for this why is the following. And I would love to find some psych research that kind of better fleshes this out or backs it up, because I'm sure it's a real effect. I'm sure it exists. But it is this. I believe that people kind of have a constant level of complaint no matter what their lifestyle is. So if you are a billionaire, you have whatever your level of complaint is. And if you are really poor, you have whatever your level of complaint is. And if you get a lot of money from being really poor, you will maintain that level of complaint. And if you lose all your money, you will also maintain that level of complaint. What will change is what you complain about. Right? So if this girl is complaining like, oh, it's really hot out, I'm tired of being hot outside, it's really lame, I have to sit on concrete. That's the level of complaint that she's at because of the situation that she's in. But these diplomats are pretty well compensated, and they get to go to, fancy meals and stuff. And so their level of complaint, because their lives are so nice, is not about all these horrible, things that are happening to this girl. Their level of complaint is about what they experience, which is the nature of the luxury sculpture that their luxury chocolates are served in. And because I kind of have this theory, I notice it just makes me, when I see things like this, I'm like, are you an idiot? You just got, like, you know, why is this even worth talking about? This is so focused on, it's so trivial. It's so trivial. And so I kind of go through life, and when I see people complaining about things, I really like evaluate that thing, and it's like, okay, like if you like got cancer, it's like, okay, like that sucks, right? But if your complaint is something like, I don't know, like I bought a TV and one of the pixels is dead, so I have to return it. What the hell? You know, like, big deal. You get to return the TV. Everything is fine. Everything is great. And you know, I'm certainly still guilty of complaining about trivial things. Don't get me wrong. I am not perfect, but I try to set my bar at problems that are really more important. And I hope that by doing that throughout my life, I can stay focused on the most important things in the time I have to contribute to the world before I die. And so yeah, that's it for video number 132. I'm definitely going to link this video. I think this guy has an interesting channel, so I'd encourage you to go check him out. I'll also link the article to the Japanese chocolate shoe faux pas. And other than that, have a fabulous evening.